Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video I'll be going through all the new Christmas Warhammer Age of Sigmar Battle Forces. There's 8 of them to choose from, so let's not muck about, let's get started right away. And here they are, a nice selection across the factions, and I think if these are anything like the Warhammer 40k ones I've just done a video for, then there's a lot to like about these too. There's the obvious ones like the Stormcast Eternals, which actually looks brilliant. You've got the Sylvaneth, Soulblight Gravelords, Skaven, Gloomspite Gits, Daughters of Cain, and the Cruel Boys too. So this is awesome. Let's get started with the first one, and it's going to be Daughters of Cain, the Cainite Slaughter Coven. One thing they've done with the 40k box is put a character in there, and they've done something similar here, but with some really nice centerpiece models. So this first set, you're going to get the Slaughter Queen on the Cauldron of Blood, and you've also got the option to build that as a Blood Rack Shrine, or a Hag Queen on a Cauldron of Blood. So nice few options there. She'll be leading 5 Melusite Blood Sisters, which can be built alternatively as Blood Stalkers. You've got 5 Canary, is that right? Canary Heart Renders? I'm butchering these names, I'm sorry about this, but they can also be built as Life Takers, a much more respectable name. Then there's 5 Doomfire Warlocks, 10 Witch Elves, which you can build as Sisters of Slaughters too. So this looks like you've got a ton of options here. Now, if you're into Warcry, this would be a great set. You'd obviously have more than you need and that big model, but you've certainly got lots of cool units that you can mix and match with. So yeah, really nice box set. But to start Age of Sigmar, this has got to be the way to go, especially if you want a Daughters of Cain army. You've got a bit of everything here. And with all these sets we'll look at, these are great introductions into building armies. They're normally really good value. Of course, we've got to wait and see on the price for that. But yeah, good way to get started if you haven't played before. Before we move on to the next set, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to Firestorm Games for sponsoring the channel. I'll put a link to their website in the description down below, and if you head over there you can save up to 20% on all your hobby products, not just Warhammer. You can pick up Dungeons & Dragons, Star Wars Legion, anything you can think of, they've got it there. So it'd be great if you check them out, and a big thanks to Firestorm Games for sponsoring the channel. Right, now we're on to the battle force for the Orruk War Clans, and it's the Cruel Boys Swamp Lurkers. This has got some really good models in here. So you're going to get Swamp Boss Scumdrek and Gobsprak, the Mouth of Mork, and you can build him alternatively as a Snatcher Boss on Sludge Raker Beast, and then a Killer Boss on a Corpse Ripper Vulture. So 2 different options for the models, and 2 really cool big models to lead the army with. Then you're going to get 3 Manskewer Bolt Boys and 10 Gut Rippers. So you're not going to get an awful lot in the way of troops here, but you are getting those 2 big models, which I think are fantastic. So this is one of those sets where you might like to get this if you've already got some Cruel Boys. This would be a great addition to get those big models in there and a few more infantry models too. So whether this is a good one to start an army with, I'm not sure. I think you'd probably want a few more units maybe, but let me know if you play them. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that down below. Okay, here's the army that I've actually built, the Gloomspite Gits. This is the Stampeding SQUIGALANCHE. Who doesn't want a SQUIGALANCHE? And this has got some really great ones in there as well. So altogether, you're going to get the Loon Boss on Giant Cave Squig, great leader. 2 Mangler Squigs, something I don't have but would really like. And then they're going to be ridden by Loon Bosses too. On top of that, you're going to get 10 Squig Hoppers, which you can build as Boingrot Bounders, and a 12-strong Squig Herd. So, nice one. I think this could be a good way to start, actually. I think you need to add a few bits to it, maybe. But, yeah, this would be a nice army. You've got some nice big Mangler Squigs in there to do some damage. And then those other Squig Hoppers bouncing about. And then chucking in the Squig Herd too. I think this is a really nice set. For me, if I didn't have the Squigs I've got already and the models I put together, this would be a must for me. I would definitely be getting this one. Next up are the Skaven, the Verminous Host. I've always been tempted by Skaven, but just they've never really hooked me enough to want to put together an army. But this might do it. This looks pretty good. You're getting a lot of models here. And so let's see who's leading it. We've got a Grey Seer on a Screaming Bell, and you can build this as a Plague Priest on Plague Furnace if you want to. You've got a Warlock Bombardier, 3 Storm Feeds, 40 Clan Rats, and 40 Plague Monks. Now that's crazy. So you're going to get a lot of models here. So if you want a lot to paint, this is a good way to go. I think this could be a good way to start. Skaven, surely you've got so many of the clan rats and plague monks there. You've got some big, strong storm fiends, a warlock bombardier, and then you've got that big grey seer on Screaming Bell. What do you think? Is this a good army? I think so, looking at it here. And is it enough to tempt me into Skaven, though? To be honest, I'm put off by painting 80 or so models, but otherwise, yeah, really nice looking box set, this one too. Next, we've got Nighthaunt, the Legion of Grief. And so if you've been collecting the previous Mortal Realms magazine, there's a good chance you're going to have a lot of these models already. But even so, I think if you were new to it, this looks very nice. So really nicely done. You've got the leader here in Lady Orlinda. That's really nice. You've got a Mortarch of Grief, a Black Coach, which I think is just a really awesome looking model. 10 Bladegust Revenants, 10 Dreadscythe Harridans, and 10 Grimgust Reapers, or Grimgust Reapers, I should say, sorry. So yeah, really nice looking set. This could be a good one. I think these are quite quick to paint as well, so if you want something that's quite fast to paint, but with nice results, and a really cool centerpiece with that black coach, then I think this could be a good way to go. But for me, I've been worn out by the Mortal Realms, seeing so many of the Nighthaunt coming, that they're not for me. But yeah, you might like this if you're new to it and want to build a new army. Next up, we've got the Sylvaneth with the Revenant Wargrove. Now, I really like Sylvaneth models. The ones I've got for Warcry, some of my favourite models I own. I really like painting them. I think they look great in the autumn theme. But I'm not sold on this box set. This one doesn't do it for me. You've got the Dryker Hammerdreth leading with 2 Tree Lords, which you've got the alternative builds as Spirit of Durthu or Ancient Tree Lords. So you've got some variety there in how you put them together. Then you've got 10 Spite Revenants, which you can also build as Tree Revenants. And then you've got 16 Sylvaneth Dryads. So yeah, for me, I'm not drawn to this one. It's a shame. I don't know what's missing. Maybe some Kurnoth Hunters in there, perhaps. Maybe leave out one of the Tree Lords. I don't know. Is it worth having 2 in an army? I think because I haven't played these in Age of Sigmar, then yeah, hard for me to really give an opinion on exactly which models should be included. But just from the way it looks for me, this could be my least favourite of the boxes, actually. But let me know what you think down below. And now we've got the Stormcast Eternals, the Thunderstrike Spearhead. Wasn't sure what I was expecting. There was obviously going to be a Stormcast box in here for sure. And I think this is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. This looks actually pretty good, and I would say I'm tempted to get this one above any of the others. We're starting to play Age of Sigmar in my local club next January, so we're doing a slow grow crusade. So this could be a really good way to do it, where oh, it's not called a crusade, Path to Glory, I think it's called. So we're going to be doing that, starting off low. This could be a really good set to do it with, but I've got to play my Gloomspite Gits, haven't I? But anyway, let's get back to this. So, altogether, you're going to get a Knight Relictor, or Relictor, 3 heavily armoured Annihilators, they look awesome, 10 Vanquishers, and 10 Vigilors armed with Stormcaller bows. Then, on top of that, you're going to get 2 Storm Drake Guards, and one of those can be built as a Knight Draconis. After the Dominion box set, which I think is probably one of my favourite box sets for a while. There's so many good models in there. But then even with Mortal Realms on top, I did get a bit tired of the Stormcast Eternals. But this set looks super tempting. The Stormdrake Guards are fantastic models. I really, really like the Vigilors too. And the Vanquishers. And they're models I don't have yet. So this is a big temptation. And I think of all the Age of Sigmar ones, I'm really surprised to say that this is the one that draws me. So yeah, but let me know what you think about this though down below, and about all the sets, because we've seen them all now here through the video, and hopefully this has given you a good idea about what to expect inside them. I might go through some of these sets, break them down, go through the points, break down the prices if you have to buy them individually, and then compare that to what we think the prices are going to be when these are actually released. So that's all coming, but I'd love to hear in the meantime, what's your favourite box set? What's your least favourite? What do you think they've got bang on? And is there anywhere you'd like to see some improvements on? Let me know down below. I've just posted the Warhammer 40k box sets, so if you want to have a look at those battle forces, they're up on the channel already if you want to check those out too. But for now, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Look out for lots more coming very soon. If you did like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe for more like this one, and don't forget to hit the notification bell too, to keep up to date with me here on tabletop skirmish games. I'd like to say a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters who make these daily videos possible, and if you're interested in joining the community, it'd be awesome to see you there, and I'll put a link for that in the description down below.